Yo, and welcome to the Ambition Hour podcast. It's your girl, Audi 3000, and this is episode 66. Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of the Ambition Hour podcast. Welcome, kings and queens out there. If you are listening to us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts, thank you so much for tuning in. Yet another week of this madness we call the Ambition Hour podcast. If you are watching us on YouTube, hey y'all. Good to see you guys. Yet another WTW Saturday. This week we dropped a new song, a new podcast, and a new video. So make sure that you guys go ahead and check that out. Let them know.
Yeah, we just dropped Price on My Head Freestyle out now. Check out the video. And it's also on SoundCloud.
Yes, sir. I also have Spitz in the building. So shout out to Spitz being in the building. Yeah. Shout out to them. They're my audio visual boys. Like I said, this is WTW Saturdays. We dropped a new song, a new podcast, and a new video. So make sure that you go ahead and check it out on WTW TV and WTW Radio. If you want all things WTW, all you gotta do is just go to our website, which is WTWrecords.com. Y'all try saying that many damn W's in a course of like 1 minute. Okay? All right, but we getting better at this now. I see it. I feel it's a new week. It has been a long week. I may add. How was your guys' week since last WTW Saturday?
Pretty decent. A lot of podcasts.
A lot of podcasting. A lot of engagement. I had...
What type of engagements? No.
What type of engagement? We're gonna have to talk about that a little bit later because people have to tune in for the extra 10 minutes mark to get the real juiciness. Shout out to everybody who watches this on IGTV. I see you guys. I'm trying to post 10 minutes of the show on IGTV for you guys. That way you guys can see what it's about. And then when you come here, you see all of its glory, the full on hour. So shout out to you for watching us if you're out there watching us on IGTV. I wanted to start off with this episode with sharing some very sad news. That way we can get into the amazing stuff. So last week, my family and I decided to put our dog of 13 years to sleep. It wasn't the easiest decision to make. I was the one who was in charge of the decision because ultimately she is my dog. And it was very hard on my heart. It was very hard on my mind. It was very hard on my spirit. Because when you have a dog, like they're like your child, you know, they're in your house every day. You have to feed them. You have to make sure that they go to the bathroom. They love you unconditionally. Like till the end, like my dog loved me. She's been with me since I was 16 years old. So that was something that was very hard for me to have to decide to put her to sleep because of the history that we have. Like she's been there when I've like had heartbreaks. She's been there like when I would cry, when I would be happy. I remember when we first got her, like just opening the box that my dad gave me, thinking it was a laptop the whole time. It was like a puppy just staring at me with these beautiful eyes that I was very lucky to look at for one last time before saying goodbye to her. So rest in peace to our dog, Nala.
R.I.P. a real one.
Yeah, she was a real one. She was a mother. She is the mother of 2 dogs. Wait, she actually had 3, but one of them was a miscarriage. She got lost at one time and we found her, and like, you know, like this dog, she was just so strong, and she has taught me strength. I swore that I was gonna come like on Monday. I swore that today's episode I was going to cry talking about this because I wanted to share this with you guys, because looking at what I'm going through, I'm noticing that a lot of people have gone through the same thing of having to put their dogs to sleep, about losing a pet, about how it is like your children. And at first I felt so silly for feeling so sad because of that. I'm like, this is just a dog. Like, why do I feel so sad, and why am I crying, and why do I keep, like, it's weird because I'm coming to a home that no longer has any, like, doesn't have anybody home. Like, there isn't a dog on the other side of the door just waiting for me and just waiting for me to love them and stuff. So it's just been very hard. It's been a whirlwind of emotions, but right after me and Hav, we went up to Orlando to visit our family that was up there. Shout out to our cousins and our niece. We got to spend time with our niece. We got to eat some good food, some good times. Man, I needed some family time because your girl hasn't been to California since last year, and I love family time. Family time is amazing. And then so within the week, we went to the NWO podcast, which was amazing. Shout out to the NWO podcast boys for having us. Ben, Vegan Trap Lord, plus Ricky the Prince, everybody there at the NWO podcast. They were awesome. I had the time of my life. It was the first time that me and the boys have ever done a podcast that's not our own altogether. So that was a lot of fun. We got to see some size of spits I haven't seen yet. No, I'm joking. So y'all make sure that when that episode drops, that y'all go check it out. And shout out to the boys again. Appreciate you guys so much for, you know, just having us and for allowing us to share energy with you guys. It was truly, truly magical. And I see nothing but great things for them. And then, so within my week, I ended up catching up on my sleep. And then we ended up going to the Joe Budden Podcast live show, me and Hav. And that was a lot of fun. I thought that was pretty cool. And I wanted to share it with you guys, mainly because the podcast did a live show at the Fillmore, which is in Miami. It's one of the biggest places, like convention centers or whatnot, I guess. And it was so cool to see, like, all of these people really coming to a live show. Like, I've been to the Fillmore to see Kevin Hart. I've seen Common there. I have seen some other, I think we've seen, who did we see? Mahid Jordan? We've seen The Weeknd there.
I think Kendrick Lamar there.
Javier seen Kendrick Lamar there. So it was just cool to see, you know, I feel like they're my big brothers. So to see them kind of like kill it in front of all those people, I just thought that was like very beautiful. And yeah, and then we also shot the music video that we dropped today. So shout out to that. So that was my week, my little weekly cap down. I was talking to Spitz earlier about how my life is just a whole podcast, and I honestly love it. I'm so very grateful because this is what I plan on doing forever. So why not start it now? So the past couple of weeks, actually like 2 weeks ago, Cypress Hill got a Hollywood star on the, what is it called? The Hollywood Walk of Fame?
Yeah, the Walk of Fame.
The Walk of Fame. So they got their own star on there. They're the very first Latino hip-hop group to ever receive one. So shout out to Cypress Hill for doing that. Represented. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very happy, very proud of that. I think it's beautiful. And I'm very happy that, you know, they're the first ones to do it. They have done a lot for hip-hop. Continue to do a lot of stuff for hip-hop. So shout out to them for getting their star. I see the boys. I'm gonna get my own star. What? I've never wanted a star before, but I'll take one. Cause I'm a star. Yeah, so last week I talked about how this week I was going to talk about my trying to process my real feelings of Kanye from last week to this week. Spitz wasn't here for that. Spitz wasn't here for my feelings on Kanye. And thinking about it in like this week that's just passed, and I've had time to like, I went to the beach and I got to like, you know, think about things, and I got to like just bullshit. I'm fluffing it up to make it seem like I really thought about it, but I don't know. I don't really have any full feelings, so I'm gonna put a pin back on that one. Just I'm updating you guys that it's a work in process. I'm really trying to provide you guys with the best explanation of how I truly feel about Kanye. Love his music. That's that. The music, I can separate that. That's my homie. So yeah, we gonna talk about Kanye a little bit later. But not today. On another episode. So make sure that you keep watching. Make sure that you're subscribed if you haven't already subscribed. That way you get a notification when we drop a new episode. Woo! All right, so last week we also talked about Someone Great, which is the movie with Gina Rodriguez and the other actresses, Brittany Snow. And there was another one. I remember her last name was Wise. Her name is Wise. And so we talked about the movie. I said how I love the movie and to watch it. I recommended it, but I I didn't to let you guys know, like, some of the things that really stood out to me the most. So some of the things that stood out to me the most, and that I like related to the most. Number one, I said that she was a Latina, that she worked for a magazine, that she loved music. So those were things that I automatically like connected with. I was just like, oh my god, this is me on screen. But then it gets into the relationship, how she meets her man. So she meets her man. I don't relate to that, but I do relate.
Meaty man, haven't done that.
Gazing into a stranger's eyes and knowing that there's a spark there. Yeah, no, hasn't happened for me. So I can't really relate to that. But I did relate to the relationship and how it goes through its ups and downs. Actually, post-relationship. So once you break up and the relationship is over, you both have decided that the relationship is done, X, Y, and Z. And then there's times when you're going through a breakup that you go back into your mind and you start thinking about all the good times that you guys had, all of the jokes, the this, the there. When you are in a relationship with somebody for a very long time, you know a lot about them. You have slept with them. I'm assuming I slept with my significant other when I was with him. So like you sleep with them, so you know their body, like you know how they're going to react to something, and you like so when you break up, there's that part of you is like missing. So when you break up with somebody and you do something, almost anything can remind you of them. So that memory comes back, and then all that you're thinking about is like, oh my god, all the good times that you had. And so they were very good on depicting that, which I loved. And that's what I related to the most, because that's something that when I broke up with, like when I was going through my breakup, all I could think about was all the amazing times that I had with this person, not knowing that there were also some bad times. So I related to those scenes a lot in the movie, of like, you know, reminiscing about all the good times, and then also reminiscing about the bad times, like about the fights. And sometimes you go into this whole thing of like, man, I really shouldn't have been with that person. Like, you know what I mean? Do you ever feel that way, Hav?
Yeah. I mean,
like,
yeah.
you think about, like, the good old times, and then you kind of, like...
You think about all the good times because, I mean, you're not doing shit right now, and I'm kidding. But then you quickly realize that there's a couple of things with you and that person, personality-wise, that probably doesn't click.
Yeah. I feel like when you're in a relationship... In the movie, they were in the relationship for 9 years. That's a very long time to be in a relationship with somebody and then break up and then having to get over that and like all this stuff. But so I related it to a lot in that sense. In the, you know, you think about the old times, and you think about, and then the whole, like, when you break up, you just want to go out, you want to have fun, you want to go hang out with your girls, and you want to like do some crazy shit. I just remember crying, so I'm that's just being real. But yeah, so I related to it a lot. And then also there's a moment in the movie where so they're in the corner store, and Selena, Dreaming of You comes on, and she like starts singing that song in the, you know, in the bodega. And she's like singing Dreaming of You, the Selena song, if you guys don't know which song I'm talking about. And I felt like that's just something that as a Latina woman I just relate to with so much, because Selena is everything for me. Like, someone asked me who would I want to interview, like, that has passed away, and instead of saying like Biggie or Pac or even Nipsey, I was like, Selena, please, because I love her. And I know a lot of Latinas. So shout out to Selena. I know, unfortunately, what's crazy is that Selena and Nipsey both died on the same day, in different years obviously, but they both died on the 31st. So in the same time that we lost somebody, we were also celebrating an anniversary of someone else who has passed, someone else who is great, they're passing as well. So this week we done got ourselves a question of the week, you guys. Hey. So it is now time for the question of the week. All right, so Spitz is on phone patrol. Can I get my phone real quick, Spitz? Thank you very much, sir. Shout out to Spitz and Hav again in the building. If you guys did not know, they are the audio visual boys that we have. Because we do everything ourselves here, you guys. WTW, we do our own videos. We got Hav who does the editing, Spiz with the editing. We do everything we do it ourselves. So I got my team with me. So this week I asked on Instagram, do you care if your significant other likes pictures on social media of the opposite sex? So I'm gonna let you guys know why I decided to ask this question, because I love to tell you guys why I asked the question first. And the reason why I asked this question is because I was going through some pictures of a model that I'm obsessed with this model. And so and so I saw somebody who was on there who was liking the pictures, right? But then in the comments section, I see that he leaves like a very thirsty comment. And and I know this dude's lady. Like, I know this dude's lady. I know that he's with her. Like, I know this man got a whole family, if I'm being real. And so the comment that he leaves, I'm like, yo, you are wildin'. And I didn't put comment because I feel like it like liking and stuff like that, I'm gonna probably have to go like, that just made me want to think, like, do people really care if your man or your girl is out here liking people's pictures? So I put four people voted for yes, that they care, and 26 people voted for no, or that it depends. So the follow-up question that I had was, if you care, is this something you and your partner have discussed? Y'all know I love communication. And I love that people are over here say that they have communicated with their partner, that it is something that they do talk about. So whether it bothers them or not, it's possibly something that has been, talked about. Because, I mean, I won't necessarily care if you're liking girls' pictures, but if you're out here liking, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're out here liking, like, ass and titties all day long, then I can see where a girl would have a problem with that, or even a man, because I've seen some pictures of some men on here, on Instagram, I mean, that have been pretty fucking wild. And I would not want my man out here in these streets looking like that. 14 people said yes, that they have discussed, and then I don't remember what four people said that no, they haven't discussed with them. So then my whole thing is that I am so curious, because when I was dating, when I was with my significant other, social media was popular, but it was just getting started. So Instagram wasn't like a big deal, but so I don't really remember being like, oh, why you liking her pictures all the time, or this and that. And I also had a significant other who had a lot of friends that were girls. So it was just something that I, as a woman, had to just be confident in the fact that, like, he had a lot of girls, like a lot of friends that were girls. But then also recognizing that some of them were not just friends. Some of them were trifling. Ladies, you know who's a friend that is more than just a friend in her head. So it's crazy how us women, we always know this. Fellas, I'm letting you know right now that we know this. But yeah, so then it's like, for those that answered no, it depends, because it depends, what does it depend on? So I'm going to read to you guys some of the answers. I won't be letting you guys know who said them, but so someone said how frequent the likes/comments and how close you are with the individual, which is kind of touching on the point that I just made. Someone else said it depends on if he be liking every single one of someone's pics. If it is random girls, it wouldn't matter. So that's more along the lines of, like, if he's over here liking all the pictures of a specific girl, you know what I mean? Like, but if it's random girls, like, I don't know. Because if it's random girls, like, how do these random girls, how are they dressed? It gets a little complicated. Like, because if it's random girls, like, random girls what? Like, random girls, like, I don't know, because I feel like dudes don't be liking, like, regular girl pictures. Like, if they're gonna like a picture, it's because there's a whole bunch of titty action going on there. Or, like, she's naked or something like that. Y'all ain't liking pictures because of these smiles? Go ahead, Spitz. Talking to the mic, though. Talking to the mic so the people can hear you.
I mean, honestly, I feel like the point of Instagram is to like pictures. You know, like, it's something that you see, you like it. It's not like he was in public grabbing a girl's ass or something. He's liking a picture doing exactly what the app wants you to do. Right or wrong. We all want engagement. I mean, spoiler alert, my answer.
Oh my God, Spitz is snitching on himself.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I basically said it could be for engagement. You know, we all want engagement on our pages. So, you know, a like can be, you know, trying to get other people to engage on their page as well. Yo, I got y'all, homies.
Spitz out here standing tall for the men in the community. Since I won't. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. The thing is that I can only go based off of what I see and how I feel, and I can only go based off of that. So you know what I mean? Like the point that Spitz is saying about the whole engagement thing, I agree with that 100% because I want engagement. So I like men's pictures. I go on, like, I'll comment on their posts, and like I'll be very interactive, but that's what it is. The thing is that I feel, let's read more of the responses. Okay, so this comes from a dude. The other two were from girls. The other one, this one is from a dude. He says, "I only care if she out here liking eggplant pics and following up with a DM." Damn, eggplant pics, following up with a DM. But see, that's the thing, that sometimes the whole liking game, sometimes that can go both ways. It can go, oh, it's just engagement, and the other times it can go, oh, I like 3 of her pictures, or he liked 3 of my pictures, so I'm gonna DM him. You know what I mean? Because like that whole Spitz, you know what game I'm talking about, right? You don't know about that game? That like, she likes 3 pics, that means I'm gonna slide in the DM, or
my client is currently not on the stand.
He's not.
we plead the fifth.
Spitz is not with the snitching over there. Anyway, okay. So another dude said, "No, as in I don't care nor check her likes. She's with me and I trust her. Very stand-up guy. I actually think he's engaged. So shout out to him. Rightfully so.
Fantastic. You're in love.
Yeah.
Great.
Love and you trust her and all that wonderful stuff that I haven't experienced in a minute. And someone else said, "I don't care. I'm double tapping that in real life."
That was a girl too.
That was a dude.
Oh, okay.
That was a dude who said that. And this other girl, because I had posted a thing saying like to not skip the picture, and so someone was like, I did skip it. Depends on the type of picture, who it is, to be honest. Which it keeps going back to that point, like, because the way what Spitz is saying of the engagement, a lot of the times the pictures that we're liking is not people that we necessarily know sometimes. But if it's somebody that, like, if it's your homegirl, if it's homegirl from your job that you know is like your work wife or whatever bullshit, and I don't know. There's so many instances or so many things that we could put into this subject that is insane because of how social media is. Like, and what can get one person mad and what won't get somebody else mad. Like, there's men out here who won't care if their girl is out here liking and commenting on dudes' pictures, just like how there's a woman who is not going to be mad at that. But if a man, my man, were to go under some girl's pictures or to be liking all of her pictures, I'm gonna feel some type of way. Like, I'm being honest. I'm gonna feel some type of way because it's like, why? Like, if I can control what I'm liking and what I'm this, like, I don't know. I just feel like it, like how she said, it just depends on whose pictures it is that they're liking. Because I get it. Homies need engagement. Okay, I get it. She's a celebrity. It doesn't matter, X, Y, and Z. I don't know. Anywho, the last and final response was, depends on how rude the picture is. Yes, that's so true though. Like, if it's just somebody just like smiling, giggling, oh, ladies' night. But if I don't know. But the crowd has spoken, so we do not care unless it depends. It depends on who it is, how they look, what's going on, what they twerking with, you know, what they working with, and all that fun stuff. So something that we had experienced in the NWO podcast, one of the conversations that was going on afterwards, it was funny because one of the girls that was there, her name is Sybil. Shout out to her. She was saying how a dude like invited her out to lunch or something like that, and that they invited her out to a date, and that she was just like, oh no, I need help with this. Like, instead of the date, I need help with this, and that she ended up buying him lunch. And the boys were like, don't buy that boy don't want no lunch. You don't want no lunch. So that made me question, like, do guys want lunch, or do they want to eat the meal? Hey. Do they? What happens, Spitz? This is a crazy conversation. It is, because so when they're responding, Spitz, thank you. You can take my phone back, please. Shout out to everybody who follows us on the Ambition Hour Instagram, which is Ambition Hour on Instagram and Twitter. So make sure that you're following us on both platforms. That way you guys can see when we drop a new episode, anything, questions that we may have. We always post footage. Thank you to all of you guys who follow us. I appreciate each and every single one of you. So back to this.
I think that everyone's trying to fuck. What the fuck?
Everyone's trying to fuck.
Yeah. I mean, duh. Everybody's looking for something.
I don't know, because if I go to eat lunch with somebody, I just want to go eat lunch with them, and I want to spend time with them, and I want to exchange. Spitz is in the back not having it. Spitz is not, like, do you not believe? I mean,
because if you're having lunch, if you said yes to lunch, then you probably thought about maybe at least being interested in having sex with that person.
Okay, but this whole thing of like having lunch, like he didn't want lunch, like he don't want no lunch. He wanted to fuck. Like, what's up with that? Like, okay, but you know, you got some lunch, and then my whole, I don't know, because when she said the whole thing about instead of taking me out on a date, I need your help with something, I thought that's cool, because if you trying to date, if we're dating, we're dating because this is going to go somewhere. We're not dating for shits and giggles. You know what I mean? But then there's so many.
What is she getting help with?
Yeah, what does he need help with?
I don't remember what she got help with.
After this work, after this job, on my knees.
Yeah, because like.
But you need pussy after?
Why are
my back hurt?
You? I thought we were supposed a communication in the beginning starts with a date. Communication starts with a date. To begin with, if you check me in the beginning and say, "Oh, we don't gotta go on a date, but I need your help with something," bro, all men, the first thing coming to their mind is red flags. Yo, this broad, I haven't even.
She unstable.
Facts. I haven't even said 2 words to her, and she wants my help. What's going on?
Okay, first of all, we don't know the severity or the length of their relationship. We don't know if this is the second time they've gone out on a date, nothing. What I did is that I saw the situation and I put it into another term, because even Javi and I were having a conversation earlier this week about coffee, going out to get coffee. Oh, shit. See, now, first of all, Miguel came out with a whole song about coffee and fucking. So every time I hear someone inviting me out to coffee, I'd be like, oh, you trying to fuck. And then have coffee before, so your girl's a little energized. But that may not happen. I'm gonna let you know it right now, because I'm not that casual. I'm not.
Oh, you look at coffee.
But so then it goes back into that whole situation. Like, do you want just coffee, or do you want? There's so. This is why, like, okay. First of all, shout out to me being single, because I would not be able to, like, really understand some of these things, because I would be in a relationship if I was in a relationship. So I'm very grateful, even though your girl is looking for some company. We're going to have to do a love for Audi. produced me. Shout out to the Joe Budden podcast. They did the Love for Mall. That was trash.
But anyways,
I just gotta say that. But okay, so with the whole like being single and stuff, it just like opens my eyes to a lot of things of like how people perceive things, about how people like, even down to like likes, or even down to you know, who you follow on social media, and like, you know, not using your toxic traits against somebody else, because in a relationship sometimes we show the person our ugly side a lot of the times because we get upset. And then there's times that within our life before we met this person that we didn't have, you know, the personal development that we had, or we didn't go through the things that we went through. So, you know, we turn into like people that we sometimes don't recognize. So just like just seeing that whole situation unfold in front of me of like, oh, he doesn't want lunch, like, you know, he want that pussy. And I get that, because at the end of the day, like how the boy said, everybody wants something. Like, and guys, I'm gonna be real honest with you, I as a woman have said no to a guy about going on a date because I don't see a sexual future with us. And that's just me being honest.
I hope all women do that. Save man the extra $14.95.
Yeah, like that's just how I am. Like for me, like if I don't automatically see if $14.95, huh?
I mean, that was with the tip. Because this is the first date, man. We going to Lime.
We're going to Lime. Yo, Lime is lit. Lime is pretty lit, I must say.
I'm trying to see what a Chipotle bowl you get. Tell us a lot about a person.
What they get in that Lime, I feel you. Yeah, so for me, that's how I feel. Like, okay, because a couple weeks ago, I had a dude who asked me out to coffee. And
Dun, 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 dun.
Starbucks.
Yeah, and so he invited me out to coffee.
He wasn't talking about no damn
He wasn't talking
Starbucks.
about no damn coffee. But me thinking about it, I was just like, oh, you know, like he's cool. Like I could have a cool conversation with him and this and that. And I asked myself, like, would you fuck him? Like, and then when I just said no, I was just like, no. So I was like, I'm not going to go to coffee with him. And I am okay with missing out on the opportunity because of that. Because at the end of the day, like, at the end, I ended up finding out that that's all he wanted to do anyway.
Yeah, so it's so hard to attach the meaning too. I guess that's like what we have problems with.
Detach the meaning. Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
coffee.
something.
Oh,
Yeah,
coffee,
that's
'cause you just
something
think
that.
it's-
$1.07 in his pocket.
What?
Huh?
$1.07.
$1.07. That's how much you spend on coffee.
That's that McDonald's coffee.
That's
boy.
that for real. That's that dollar menu coffee.
Facts.
So you wouldn't take her to like a nice coffee place?
But I don't drink. That's why
That's why
it's bad game for us because we don't actually drink coffee like that, or like not even trying to be caffeinated. Like, you get what I'm saying? At least me. So like, man, I'm trying to show you how to drink water.
Good choice. Water is very good. I don't really drink coffee, but I have gone to a nice coffee. Like I went to a nice coffee place like 2 weeks ago that I absolutely loved. I had the time. I want to go back. That's how much I like that coffee place. And it turns out that the same coffee place that I went to was the same one that I told Homeboy we should go to, but he was acting like.
That coffee wasn't $1.25 like my boy was saying.
But yeah, so
ain't shit, bro.
that. But that's just that's what I'm saying. Like it's interest. It's for me. I'm the type that if I automatically already know that I don't want to fuck you, then I'm going to save your time and I'm going to save my time, and I'm just gonna I'm just not gonna do it. And I'm sorry if not other girls don't do that. Like, but I just choose not to. I choose not entertain. I don't even entertain my coworkers. Like, there's times where, like, I just, like, they be like, oh, how are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm doing well, you know? Thank you. And I just go on about my day because, Like, cause there's some people that you know that like if you ask them, then they're gonna tell you. And like, do you really want to know? Cause sometimes it's negative. And then the whole exchange of energy, like that's how selective I am with my energy and who I spend it on, because I don't have time for that. So if I know that, okay, there's a connection, but I don't see you in like sexually, and that's not going to happen, and I may feel that that's what your intention is of like hanging out with me, then I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save my time, your time, everybody's time. You can go on to the other girl that you were texting as well. Have a good night. Okay.
Yeah, bitch.
So your girl's getting a little older now.
Wiser, bro.
Wiser, more beautiful, lit. I feel like I'm getting like, I honestly feel the most sexiest than I have ever felt.
Ow. I'm trying to be a soundboard today.
Javier's my human soundboard today. Shout out to that. And so something that I've been recognizing, and something that I recognized this past week actually, was that there have been some toxic traits that I have done in my life that I never recognized. I never acknowledged them. I just took them for what they were. And one of them is that I was actually an emotional cheater. Didn't know that. Found that out.
Shout out NWO.
For real, NWO, they put me on my shit. It wasn't even them. It was like somebody who just pulled up to the podcast.
It was like, yeah.
He was like in the back, like, nah, that's cheating. And I was like, oh shit.
He was like, you trifling bitch.
Yeah.
You broke his heart.
Yeah. He like was feeling for homeboy. Like it was awesome. So when he said that, I was like, wow. He really like, nah, he felt very passionate.
Kind of give him the context.
Yeah, like kind of get, yeah. Once I like, and the funny thing is that I had always felt bad about that. Like ever since I did that, ever since I didn't know it was emotional cheating. I didn't know it was cheating.
I think that was the first time I actually answered truthfully to that question, if I ever cheated.
What, that you, because you have? Oh,
Yeah,
how
I
about
got
here trying to
one
think, make it seem like, ladies,
one
he
little
is a good
stain.
boy. He is a good man, though.
Hey, it was a slip up, man. Every player mess up.
Hav is a really good man, and so is Spitz. So any one of you ladies will be lucky to have him.
Ease up on Spitz, though.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
But
we have millions of listeners right here.
y'all, the boys' inbox is gonna be lit. Spitz fire. What is it? 305? 86 is his Instagram. The Spitz. How many times have you changed your Instagram?
You be changing it back and forth.
Change it, 'cause, you know,
He got.
Keep these hoes on point.
Yeah.
you dodge point.
You be doing some shady shit on the
He's-
low.
Bro, he's even shady on how he's explaining
Yeah,
it.
he's even shaking your head. He's like scratching his head, like, dog. When you scratching your head, you lying. Ladies, when he starts hitting you with one of these,
And you know,
and
you know there's gonna be some bullshit. Or, I mean,
oh, Spitz, can I get that shirt real quick before I talk about how I was an emotional cheater? Guys, we have Levita at Bella shirts on Worth the Wait on WTWRecords.com. So make sure that you guys go ahead and check that out.
$25
we have all sizes. I have said to you ladies, if you get this shirt, you guys can cut it up. You can get a bigger size, make it a cute little dress, make a little outfit. I don't do that. So you might want to find somebody who can do it, but we do have these shirts. We also have the WTW Records sweaters available. We have the dub capsules. We also have the shirts. We have all the videos, all the podcasts. We have everything that you need on WTWRecords.com. So make sure that you go ahead and check that out. And back to my, what shirt?
after that,
My shirt. Oh, the Ambition Hour podcast shirt. Oh.
we're gonna get that printed up too, and get sizes available for all you guys. And the WTW family. As you see here, our model is wearing a small, I believe.
It is a small. It's a V-neck.
It's a V-neck, and it's a woman fit shirt. So we're
It's a
gonna.
women's fit. Shout out to all the ladies out there. We're gonna get these shirts out there for you guys. All this merch is for you guys to purchase. So make sure to go ahead and check it out on WTWRecords.com. And back to the emotional cheating that I did. So, the whole thing that it came about was like, asking for space in a relationship. I did that in my previous relationship more times than I am proud of to say. Sometimes because I didn't feel like I was getting treated right. Sometimes because I may or may not have had someone that I was interested in that was kind of giving me more attention. And ultimately, what actually broke us up for like indefinitely was there was somebody else who was kind of giving me the attention, and our relationship wasn't doing too well. And without getting into it too much, our relationship wasn't doing too well. We had already been 4 years together, and it had been on and off. There had just been like disrespect on both ends. Like I said, I was toxic. I was very selfish because I would only think about myself. I would never see things on his side. I would only see the things on the bad side. And so that's what I feel like the older that I get, I'm starting to recognize those toxic traits that I had in that relationship. That way I can become a better woman, just myself, and become a better woman in my future relationships, because I never knew that I was an emotional cheater, and I never knew that I was actually in reality being selfish. The reason why I learned that I was being selfish and that I didn't really put him first, or even his feelings first, or always saw the bad in things, was because I had this conversation with my ex. Shout out to my ex. He's cool. That's my friend. He's not, but he cool. He's cool. And it's crazy because I've been battling with myself about what I talk about on the podcast, and it's kind of hard because I'm very transparent on here. And I was talking to Hav earlier about how being in a relationship, like about like having a significant other, and then coming on a podcast and then being so transparent about how you feel, or even your past experiences or things that you have done that you maybe have not shared with your significant other, but then you share it in front of the podcast. Or even like friends, like I share some things with you guys that I don't even share with my friends. Like that's insane to me. This is a fucking podcast that I share things with that I won't even share with my friends, and then later on I'll be like, oh yeah, because I shared it on the podcast. They're like, you didn't tell me though. And I'm like, oh well, I told my friends on the podcast.
Well, if you're my friend, you watch.
Well, if you're my friend, if you are my friend, you should be watching the podcast. That's why I only have a couple of friends because they're not all. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that was just something that I was like learning, and I felt like as you get older, you start to recognize that, and you start to see that there are some toxic traits that you have been in. I was also very manipulative, and not just in the relationship, but I know when I was younger, I was very manipulative in different areas of my life. I was very like not like use you, but like I'm going to be with you because it's going to benefit me in this way. Or, you know what I mean? Instead of like now I'm just like, bro, if you want to rock with me, you can rock with me. But if you ain't going to rock with me, you ain't going to rock with me, because I'm going to make it my way, how I want. And it's going to happen how God has it planned for me. And so for me, it has just been an experience to have really looked within myself and to have seen the toxic traits that I had in the past, some of the toxic traits that I'm trying to let go of now. Because trust me when I tell you, once you spend a little bit of time by yourself and you self-reflect, and you even disconnect from social media or even hanging around with people that love you, you start to notice that there are some things about you that are not awesome. Something that the boys and I have been very big on since we have started, everything has been communication, and communicating like, hey, you kind of sort of popped off on me this type of way, or you said this and this isn't what it was, or it's just very as humans, we just have to know that there are toxic people in this world, but we also have to recognize that we are toxic as well in some areas of our life. And I'm not saying that, that you can't grow from that, because you can be toxic and you can still grow. Like I've said before, you can be flawed in this earth and you can still strive. So you can still be toxic and you can still be flourishing at the same time. Because just because you were toxic like 2-3 years ago or a week ago, that doesn't mean that you can't change that and become a better person the next day. Spitz, can I please have my phone back, please? Thank you, sir. Y'all just see his Spitz hands there.
He's that hand in the.
He's the hand in the show.
In that show, yeah, in the show that passes them something like a.
Is it? We should make it like with Audi 3000 featuring a hand. So something that I wanted to share with you guys, because this past week, when I'm like the guy, you guys know that I work at an office. You know, your girl works at an office full time, and I share an office with I had an office, like somebody that I share an office with, and he ended up leaving the job, and so I was by myself I just had the office to myself, and people kept coming into the office and kept asking me like, oh, are you lonely, or oh, do you miss him, or oh, do you this? And I'm like, bro, first of all, I'm happy as fuck the homeboy is gone.
I would have fired him sooner.
I was like, he was cool as fuck, but I am so big on like being by myself. It's insane. Like as soon as he left, I was just like dancing in my desk and just dumb shit. Like, I love being by myself, and that's something that I wanted to talk about because, man, it's crazy how like I wish I could have counted how many people really asked me like, oh, are you lonely? Or if you get lonely, you can come to, you know, our office and all that shit. It's just like, bruh, I didn't even go to y'all office when he was here. Why would I go to y'all office when he's not? This whole work shit sometimes, guys, that shit, it be irritating me. Like, I can't wait until I'm my own boss. Like, I can't wait until, like, this is like a full-time thing. The boys are on tour, and like I'm doing a sold out
Podcast on tour.
Yeah, podcast on tour. I cannot wait for that. That's one of the things that Joe Biden podcast did. That on Friday morning when I walked in, I was just like, first of all, fuck all y'all. Like fuck all of y'all, every single last one of y'all. I ended up getting a new office. You know, like, what is it? An office mate? An office roommate? I guess an office mate. Yeah, so I ended up getting an office mate. But that's my girl. The person who they moved into my office, she's like my home girl. Like, she is the person that I talk to.
Oh, y'all did a bid together?
Well, it's funny because when I first started working there, we shared the office, and she was my supervisor. Then I moved to when I was working at the front desk, she was a supervisor at the front desk. So me and her worked side by side every single day until I got promoted. So then when I get promoted, we don't work together anymore, but then she ends up getting promoted. So we both get promoted, and then a couple months later, we end up moving into the same office. So I'm so excited. But yeah, so this whole like being lonely thing and all this stuff, brought me to want to have a conversation about solitude. Now solitude, some people confuse it with loneliness. Now loneliness, I may have to look up the definition for you guys because I don't necessarily, to me, like when somebody is lonely, it's just like they don't have anybody to be with. And okay. Oh, this is like a clinical depression.
Like, are you lonely? Here are 10 questions to figure out.
Holy shit, for real. Feeling sad and unhappy about being socially isolated. See, I don't feel sad and unhappy about being socially isolated. Damn, it makes me feel bad that people actually do feel this way though, because it says common causes of this symptom. Loneliness can be normal and is only an indicator of underlying disease when feelings become excessive, all-consuming, and interfere with daily living. So this is just something that now I'm finding, but because I want you guys to really understand the differences between loneliness and solitude. Types of loneliness: new situation loneliness. So you move to a new city. I'm different loneliness. So this is like, you know, everyone is, you know, wearing the same jeans and I'm not wearing the same jeans. That's a very small thing because I'm sure for other people it's the way that they look. What was that?
Culturally,
religiously, physically, emotion, everything. Like, I'm just different. No sweetheart loneliness. So this is like, you know, probably what people think that I go through. So I don't got a man, that I'm lonely. No animal loneliness, kind of like how I've been feeling this past week. But this one is, many people have a deep. Okay, what happened, Spitz? I want to laugh too. Are you over here reading shit during my podcast? You rude as fuck, Spitz. No time for me loneliness. Damn, I would hate not having time to myself. Trust. What happened? Of what? Oh, no time for me. Untrustworthy friends. That's very lonely. Man, I now that I'm looking at this, I've actually felt some of these loneliness.
Types of loneliness.
Types of loneliness. Because untrustworthy friends loneliness, I've felt that. Quiet presence loneliness. You just miss having someone else's quiet presence. Like, you could just, like, I guess just be with somebody, and you just feel that. What is it? It's not like, you just miss that person's even warmth, like just being quiet. You know what I mean? Just being quiet with somebody. So what I ended up doing was, since I do like being alone, and I love my solitude, and I feel like everybody should have that in their relationship. I feel like everybody should have that just in their everyday life to life. I ended up finding a list that gives you 5 ways solitude can make you more successful. So I'm just going to go ahead and read down the list for you guys, because I do feel like this is very important for you guys. If you feel like you're stuck in something, if you're stuck in something, if you feel like you've hit a plateau in your business, in your mind, in your job, in your everyday just thing, I want you guys to understand that solitude is okay, and that spending time for yourself and doing things for yourself is okay. So number 1, solitude helps you get to know yourself. When you are by yourself, you make choices without outside influences. You can choose how to spend your time without worrying about anyone else's feelings. This is the main reason why I love going to places by myself. Because I don't have to ask anybody if they want to go eat there. I don't have to ask them at what time they want to leave. I don't have to, nothing. I just go. I just do what I want to do. No one's there to tell me anything differently, and I enjoy it, love it. Number 1. So that's number 1. Being alone will help you grow more comfortable in your skin as well. The more you know yourself, and the better equipped you'll be. You'll be to be your authentic self when others are around. It's funny because I read the whole being alone will help you grow more comfortable in your skin as well. Yans asked a question on her Instagram about masturbating in women, and I literally hope that she talks about that on the Lick Read. Because I need to know about this. I need to know about this women masturbating conversation that she's probably about to pop off.
That's an interesting conversation.
That is a very interesting conversation. So when I read the more you know yourself, the better. Listen. Okay. So no.
Oh, the more you know.
The more you know yourself. Okay, so alone time could improve your relationships. Spending time with friends, family, and colleagues contributes to a we versus them mentality. Although unintentional, you'll see people who don't fit into your inner circle as different from you, and you'll develop less empathy for them. Spending time alone breaks down those barriers. Studies show you'll develop more compassion for other people when you set aside time for solitude. There's a picture that I actually screenshotted the other day, and it says, "My alone time is for everyone's benefit." If that ain't the truth. Because Lord knows, when I am by myself, whew, it's the best. Okay, so solitude boosts creativity and productivity. There's a reason artists, musicians, and authors seek solitude when they want to create something. So, for example, when Kanye went to Hawaii or even Wyoming, or there's some other artists that go other places, I picked Kanye because obviously he's the GOAT. So he was the first person that I thought of when I thought about, musicians going to places, for creativity and productivity. Or even myself, when I want to when I want to do work, when I want to work, like, this is where I come to work sometimes, like, or when I want to write something and I want to, like, break it down, I have my places where I go so that I can get that creativity and productivity flowing. In addition to boosting creativity, solitude also skyrockets productivity. Studies consistently show people perform better when they have privacy, which means open floor plans make terrible work environments. Number 4, solitude improves psychological well-being. Learning how to be comfortable by yourself may take time to get used to. That was very hard for me because I was so used to being around a lot of people. But solitary skills could be help But solitary skills could be help you become mentally stronger. Studies have found people who set aside time to be alone tend to be happier. They report better life satisfaction and lower levels of stress. They're also less likely to have depression. Ever since I decided to live a life more of solitude, I noticed that I have not been depressed. Like, I haven't been depressed. I have suffered from depression before, and I have noticed that since I have taken time for myself and have spent more time in solitude, that I have gone past through that depression like nobody's business. And number 5, which is the last one, being alone gives you an opportunity to plan your life. While it's important to have joint goals with your romantic partner, family members, or business partner, you also need to make sure that you're living your best life as an individual. I'm going to make a note of me learning to read better for you guys. Okay. Be proactive about planning out your life, similar to the way you might plan for retirement or plan a vacation. Setting aside time to be alone can help you reflect on your goals, dreams, and aspirations. Take a break from the hustle and bustle to think about whether your living life according to your values and whether you might want to make some changes. So it gives you some tips on how to set some time to be alone. For me, the best thing that I can do is to plan it. And what they're saying is you don't need to aside huge chunks of time to be yourself in order to benefit from solitude. Just 10 minutes of alone time each day could be enough to help you rejuvenate from the daily grind. Something that I do is that I love to have lunch by myself and I have it outside. That way I'm reconnecting, refocusing, re-energized. When I go back to work, I have that alone time. There's times when we have gone out that I'll just go on by myself because I like that quick little 10 minutes of my alone time when we're out with people, talking to people, and we're networking and all that stuff. Even then, I need my own time. Like, I need my own time where it's just me by myself. I'm probably in the corner chilling in the cut. It could be anything. So make sure that you are taking time out for yourself. Trust me, not just the people around you will be happy, but you will be a lot more happier as well. This week, Drake won 27 billboards, which is insane.
Goddamn.
27 billboards, and I'm not surprised because he did drop God's Plan, Nice for What, and In My Feelings last year, and I don't necessarily know which 27 billboards he won, but I know that he dropped those 3 songs and Scorpion. Like, I can only imagine, like, the records that he broke with those songs, because God's Plan, they still play in the club and people still go crazy because of the line that I only love my bed and my mom, I'm sorry. Like, you know what it was just a great song. So it was awesome for him to have 127 billboards. I'm pretty sure he's the first one to ever have done that. We have spoken about how, we didn't speak about, but we did talk about, no. It's because I'm confusing my podcast with somebody else's podcast. Like, I talked about it, I didn't talk about it. I just heard a podcast talk about it. About the billboards and how we, like, do we really care about the billboards? I don't really care about the billboards, but I actually honestly think that 27 billboards of Drake, like, winning 27 billboards, that's a lot of damn awards that they had to give that man. And
a lot of UPS tracking numbers.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's like, so shout out to him, shout out to that. I'm pretty sure he's the first rapper to ever have done that, so shout out to that as well, because that's for the culture. Guys, do you guys have anything you might want to add to the episode before we take this one on home? Because I did want to share the new music and stuff that I've been listening to before we close it up. Do you have anything, Spitz?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Well, no, mention this.
Yeah. Yo, Kim Kardashian is getting to the bag.
Oh, cause she passed her lawyer thing and she helped a man from Florida, right?
Well, that's
cool.
great and all.
That's great and all, but
amazing.
That's perfect. I mean, nothing wrong with that.
She's getting $1 million a post.
There, ding, ding, ding,
ding, ding.
Kim K is getting. Guys, Kim K is getting paid $1 million a post. That's it. That's the.
Yo, please, don't hate it. Just get to the bag like that, bro. That's it.
I feel like, okay, so there's so many people who are so mad about Kim Kardashian and what she does and everything that she does. And I'm the type that, bro, if I don't like something, I don't I try not to spend my energy on it unless I feel very passionately about it. But if like someone is doing good, this is like how I talked about last week with Dave East and this dude Lil Nas X. Like, how can you even find yourself to pick up your fucking phone and talk bad about somebody who's doing good? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how we do this. I don't understand how society has gotten this low that people are picking up their fucking phones and they're being mad negative. Listen, all positive vibes. I will say fucking again, I am the positive Care Bear. Sending out Care Bear positivity to all of you guys. What you gotta say, Hav?
I wanted to ask a question. After going to see the Drink Champs and then now seeing Joe Budden, like, which one afterwards gave you, I don't know, more fulfillment or more belief or more faith, or, you know, or which one do you feel, or which one did you feel more like when you went to work the next day? Like, man, fuck this fucking job.
Okay, so
good question.
That's a great question, Hav. Thank you for that question. Somebody asked me a similar question, but they actually asked me which one was a better podcast, and I honestly can't answer that.
Trying to fuck up our ties.
For real. Okay, so I'm really happy that you brought it back to that because the Joe Budden podcast and Drink Champs, I got to see both of them live. Like, coolest shit ever. Like, two of my favorite podcasts, I get to see them live. Like, I saw Drink Champs happen literally right in front of my eyes. I got to meet the artists that came on and everything. We've talked about this on this podcast. And Joe Budden, I got to see them live in person, like, with a whole bunch of other people. It was, you know, at the Fillmore. And so with that being said, honestly, when I left the day after work, like the whole fuck my job, that one definitely happened after the Joe Budden podcast episode. I mean, the Joe Budden podcast live. Mainly because I love being in front of crowds. And to me, seeing crowds and like just everybody laughing and going crazy and that, like, and it's a podcast, that just showed me like, yo, this shit is not just you. Like, I'm in my room right now. Like, I'm in a room in my home right now. Like,
she does not sleep here, guys.
Well, my bed is not on the other side of the camera, guys. I promise. It's just Spitz and Hav in the computer.
Yeah.
But to have seen, like, I remember just walking in, like, when I went to the bathroom real quick and then walking in and then just when everybody went crazy when they played Pump It Up and, like, I'm telling you, when I walked into work on Friday, I was like, fuck y'all for real. But when I saw Drink Champs and I saw how, like, Revolt was there and the producers and how they were, like, moving like they did all the audio, they did the lighting, they did this, it showed me like, man, look at how possible this is, like, when we get a big network to come in and, you know, help us with that. And so honestly, I want both, but like, answering the question truthfully, Joe Budden definitely made me the next day at work like, fuck y'all. This man was selling tickets for like $50 something, and I did the math and I saw how much money they're making from this tour, and that just gave me all the hope and all the faith that I needed. Not that I'm doing this for money, but it shows me what is possible, and that's why I fucking love that podcast, because they're showing me what's possible. Like, they're showing like, you know, they're showing us creatives what's possible, and, you know, they're always dropping gems about like how to, you know, be more successful in what you're doing as a creative or as a content creator. And, you know, that's what we're doing here. So I get a lot of game from just the podcast. And so yeah, definitely I was like, fuck this place. Great job, Kav. Thanks for the question. So this past week, we did get some new projects that were released. Before I talk about those beautiful projects that have been released, I do want to let you guys know the House of Jones is still available for you guys to stream on all platforms, on all streaming services. You can listen to us on Google. Say it.
La Vita Bella is also
we
out.
said La Vita e Bella is
Run
also
it
out.
up. Friend Zone. Run it
Friend
up.
Zone. We just hit 1,000K on
Let's
Friend
get to 2K.
Zone. If you say 1,000K, that's not.
Oh yeah, it's 1K.
No, I said 1,000K. Like, why did I say that? No. 1,000 is a K. Anywho, I've told you guys, I'm out here just trying to get better. Like, I'm not perfect. This is episode 66. Lord knows. If you're watching and we're already on episode 130 or 150 and you're watching this episode, thank you. y'all see how much of a hot mess I am on this episode and see the difference. Drop a comment in the below section and let me know what's the difference. But yeah, so House of Jones is also out. La Vita e Bella is out. We also have Burgundy that is out, and Weekend in LA. Those are the projects that are. Oh, we have some other projects that I'm not naming that I know I need to name. We have, what is it, Cabana? What is it?
Oh, Cabana Classics.
Cabana Classics.
Layback and CAB.
Yeah, we also have some other projects. We just have a lot of projects. That's why you got to go to WTWRecords.com. That way you can check everything out. But we also have Purple Label dropping. Why are you laughing?
Because there's so goddamn much music, yeah.
It's so much music.
Hey, just right now, go stream La Vita Bella and House of Jones, and we'll be good.
All right, yeah, no, but I'm saying Purple Label is dropping.
Purple
we
Label,
have a date.
May 25th.
May 25th.
May 25th.
Purple Label is dropping. This is a project by Layback Sosa and Hav. So make sure you guys go check that out. That project, I've been listening to it. Shit is dope.
Word of spits. If it ain't purple, it ain't my label.
Hey. But so this week, Styles P did drop a new project. It's called SP The GOAT, Ghost of all time. So shout out to Styles for dropping another project. You know, he's been in the game for a very long time. For him to still be putting music out is awesome. I love it. I got to listen to a little bit of it, and I liked it so far. Also, Scuba Q dropped a project last week. I didn't get to talk about it. I listened to it. I'm going to have to revisit it before I get my honest opinion, but it did drop. So shout out to Scuba Q for dropping a project. Also, Ari Lennox is dropping a project next week, if I'm not mistaken. I'm very excited because she has a beautiful voice, and the song that she just dropped is amazing. But I did come across the Styles P project, and I also came across this project by Tank and the Bangas called Green Balloon. I have had that project on repeat since yesterday. I don't know where these people came from. I know they're from New Orleans, but their music is dope. That project is dope. Y'all need to go check it out. I'm obsessed. They use instruments. You can hear the fucking flutes and the everything. Like, the project from the beginning to end is the best. My favorite song is called Lazy Days, and y'all need to hear that shit because she talks some real shit on that song. I also listened to this this artist called Toby, and his project called Still, and that project was another one that was beautiful. Something that he talks a lot about in that project is being a black man in America, and like kind of like the struggles that you go through. But he's a rapper, he sings. Also the instrumentation that he chooses in the music is beautiful. So I was really excited to have come across those projects this week. I just wanted to listen to new music, and then ended up finding those two projects. And also I follow Styles P, so I knew that he had the project out. But that's what I wanted to bring to you guys this week. That way you guys can go ahead and enjoy it. Again, it's Tank and the Bangas. The project is called Green Balloon. Toby is Still, and Styles P is SP The GOAT, Ghost of All Time.
Ghost.
Shout out to all those projects that dropped this week that I've been enjoying. Thank you so much for tuning into the Ambition Hour podcast. If you are listening to us on SoundCloud, Apple, Spotify, anywhere, Google, thank you so much. If you are watching us on WTW TV, which is on YouTube, thank you so much. I appreciate you. To the boys, thank you so much for being here yet another Saturday to help me and to make it like that I'm not just talking to a fucking wall and 90% of the time here on the Ambition Hour podcast. I want to remind all of you guys to go ahead and chase your dreams without any fear. I also want to remind you guys to drink your water and mind your business. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's your girl Audi 3000, and we out.